And then the traffic was just a little bit beyond nuts earlier tonight, especially around I 59 and into that area of northwest Georgia. But we're just not seeing any major problems out of that for right now. But the good news at this time is that things appear to be a little bit better where traffic is concerned around the area. But it was something else out there from earlier tonight, especially if you were south of 24 on Interstate 59, because that was seeing some major backups, and we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little while. Less than 10 days to go until Thanksgiving. We've got a decent amount of chances of rain off and on throughout the next several days. Will it actually add up to anything substantial? And when I say substantial, I mean about maybe close to 10 inches of rainfall behind normal for this time of the year. We are looking at some pretty serious situations. The drought conditions continue to see some problems out there. We'll talk more about that coming up also in just a little bit. Time is right before 10 o'clock Eastern time. It is Tuesday the 14th. Thanksgiving, again, less than 10 days away. So we're getting close to that time frame to where a lot of people are going to be in motion. We'll talk about that forecast in just a little bit. If you're on Facebook, drop something into the comments section. Say hi, got a question about the weather, whatever. Let me know and let's talk about it. If you're not from this area, if you're just tuning in, this is News 12 from Chattanooga, Tennessee, USA, Eastern Time Zone, North America, planet Earth, solar system, Milky Way galaxy. So thanks to everybody for wherever you might be happening to tune in on the Sub-Ethan network. If you know where that comes from, bonus points for you for being a hoopy cool fruit. We'll be looking for the possibility of some mild conditions into the next couple of days, but it's going to take a while to get there. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. First of all, for all the kids out there heading for school in the morning, mom, dad, whoever, getting the kids up and going on the Greater Chattanooga Orthodontics bus stop forecast for tonight into tomorrow. A bit on the brisk side, we'll call it mostly cloudy for tomorrow. And then by tomorrow afternoon, more clouds and could be some scattered showers around the area. Again, does not look like much. It's possible. It just doesn't look like a lot going on. So at least some good news where that is concerned. And again, for tomorrow afternoon, chances of rain are not great, but we'll talk about that here in your forecast in just a little bit. Currently around the area of Island Cove, a lot of clouds, some very calm conditions, that water like glass tonight. Hardly any wind to speak of anytime soon. Downtown Chattanooga on the Bailey's Heating and Air camera, a little bit on the hazy side, but otherwise not doing too bad at this time. Looking out over the TVA building down at the bottom of your screen. Highways 153 and 64 from the Plainview Outdoor Advertising camera at Lee Point, moving along very nicely. Back to downtown, I-24, construction going on in some portions of downtown area, so traffic on I-24 moving through the middle part of the screen on the Patriot Concrete camera. Looks like it's moving along quite nicely for right now. CHI Memorial Stadium, Tomahawk, crane and rigging camera. A little bit of haze in the street lights. Very light traffic for this time of the evening, so nice to be able to see no traffic jams going on. Please remember, on the left-hand side of that screen, just beyond there, there's a major construction zone at I-24 and Germantown Road and back over toward Moore Road as well. Speedy's Total Car Care camera down toward Coolidge Park. Not too many people out and about for tonight, but a beautiful day today. Trifle on the breezy side, but wasn't really too much to worry about there. Mid-50s for right now, and calm winds and some very dry dew point temperatures at this time. Numbers at close to the top of the hour, back into the 50s across much of the area, so not doing too bad. Some rain coming in from the south and the west, but dew point temperatures even into the 20s around Decatur, Tennessee. That's not helping any of this moisture down to the south and west of us. That's rain heading generally our direction, but with dew point temperatures like this, as that rain makes its way into the area, it basically is just getting shredded. There's nothing to support that down at the surface. Wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of raindrops out of this into northeastern parts of Alabama and northwestern Georgia. But for right now, what we're really looking for is going to be the potential of rain early tomorrow morning and then into and around tomorrow afternoon. Off and on, we're just not looking at too much of anything out there, sad to say at this point. So that would be nice if we could actually get some raindrops out of that to help our situation. Here's the way it stands on the almanac: 69 the high today, well above normal for this time of the year. 43 the low temperature, so we were pretty close to the numbers there. Excuse me a second, computer's getting a little cranky. Once again, another day without rainfall and pushing 2 inches behind for the month of November. So for September, October, and November, we have not even picked up an inch of rainfall in 3 months. And that means we are now 8 2/3 inches behind for the year. We should be at 46.91. Not happening there. 10 degrees below record high, last set back in 1999, and 30 years earlier, a record low of 18 degrees above zero, set back in 1969. So seeing some interesting changes out there in the temperatures at this time of the year, but that's pretty much normal for here. Not seeing too much again in the way some clouds out there from earlier this evening. Zooming out a little farther, disturbance along the Gulf Coast is going to be giving us the possibility of maybe some scattered showers here, but again, it's moving into very dry air, so the chances of us really getting anything totally substantial are pretty poor, which is bad news considering what the fire situation looked like. Again, bright red indicates the very new wildfires. Yellow and orange indicates the older wildfires of about roughly 24 hours plus. So we have had more than enough from Texas to the Great Lakes, all the way back from the Rio Grande into around Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Illinois, and all the way back up into Wisconsin. Brand new fires there. Not a lot going on in the area down where we are. A lot more going on into parts of Georgia and the Carolinas, and that's from the Visible Infrared Imaging Radiometer Suite, or the VIIRS system, which you can get from earlier. Good news at this time, quite the difference from what it was just a few hours ago. Georgia Department of Transportation, GDOT, I wanted to say GA-DOT, but that's not it. Georgia Department of Transportation at 511 GA blocked off the southbound lanes of I-59 south of 24, right on over into northwestern Dade County in northwestern Georgia. So traffic was backed up all the way to New England, Georgia, and that was taking its toll, mainly because south of this area, State Route 136, the road was blocked off due to some wildfire activity. Still don't have a detailed information about what actually happened there, but good to see that the scrum of traffic is cleared and things are moving once again. But we're going to be seeing more potential of wildfires out there. The cutoff point for data for the U.S. Drought Monitor is Tuesday. So that takes a day and a half to get everything organized, and the next Drought Monitor update will be coming up on Thursday. Parts of the News 12 viewing area in a 5 out of 5 exceptional drought situation, and I've got a bad feeling that, yes, even though we did get some paltry amounts of rainfall, we're probably going to see this area expanded just like it did over parts of the Gulf Coast and up into middle Mississippi. I've got a bad feeling we're going to be seeing some more exceptional drought for the area. We need more rainfall. We're just not getting it at this point. So the best chance we've got now is this area of low pressure. We're up here, again, around the News 12 viewing area in and around Chattanooga. We've got plenty of clouds, yes, but we don't have much of anything going on where it comes to anything in the way of rainfall. So for right now, we see the potential of some rain coming up out of this, but again, it's moving into dry and very stable air where that area of high pressure is hanging around. Now, back to the west of us, looking toward the Pacific coastal area, that is where things are getting a little bit more interesting. We'll see another disturbance heading in by about Friday. That'll give us a better potential of rainfall out of that, but it's what happens afterwards, because we'll be looking for the potential of this storm system to rocket its way across the country and give us the potential of even more chances of rain right before Thanksgiving travel season arrives. So that'll be the next best chance of anything involving rain coming up. We see again the potential for some more rain. We'll take a look at how much coming up in just a little bit. we'll take every drop we can get. That's for certain at this time. Okay, temperatures tomorrow morning, upper 40s, lower 50s. This computer model forecast keeps getting more and more pessimistic by the run. Again, about every 6 hours this comes out, and there was a lot more rain a couple of days ago. Now there's barely anything for tomorrow morning. We may see a few spotty areas of showers out there into tomorrow afternoon, but chances are just not great at this time. Some, yes, but that's about it. Cool for Thursday morning, partly to mostly cloudy skies through the day. Getting some sunshine toward late afternoon could bump our temperatures into the lower to mid 70s. That's going to be about 10 degrees above normal at this time of the year. Now by Friday morning, could be, again, some speckles of showers right before dawn patrol, but again, surrounded by dry air. Confidence is not high at this time. And unfortunately, right as we go into around Friday night football, that is where we start to see even more showers. Again, widely scattered, not great chances, but still possible. So I would keep the rain gear handy just in case you're heading out to Friday night football there. And we'll see again about how much we actually wind up with. But that'll be the best of the best for now. We'll get to the supercast going a little farther into the future coming up here in just a little bit. 7-day forecast is looking like this again into the next few days. Numbers pretty cool for Wednesday, back in the lower 60s, and then we'll get back into the 70s, way above normal. Normal for this time of the year is again about 63. So the weekend looks good. Showers Friday into very, very early Saturday, and then clearing out the weekend for anything going outdoors looks spectacular for right now. And then the weekend looks good all the way through, starting Monday. And again, this is a big travel week. A lot of folks getting off early to get ahead of the travel rush. So Monday, Tuesday, and it looks like next Wednesday is going to be best chances for rain developing and sticking around. Now, again, granted, that is still several days out, so the closer we get, the more in focus this becomes. But it is possible that we could be needing the potential of some patience out there when it comes to wet roadways. Hope we do get some wet roadways to kind of wet down the fire risk, because right now it is not looking good for the potential of wildfires being tamped down. We'll keep our eyes on that here, so keep it tuned to News 12 for more on that. And again, good possibility of special weather statements coming in from the National Weather Service in the next couple of days for this area of the country. And again, please use caution with anything involving fire outdoors. A spark from a welding torch, a cigarette butt tossed out the car window, that is where we could be seeing, again, the potential for large, dangerous wildfires getting going. What we need is more of this, and whether or not we get that, again, that right now it looks better than it has for a long time, but we are severely behind on that rain, and that is where we are seeing the problem coming up into the rest of the excuse me, the forecast. So for tomorrow, catching around the Gulf doesn't look too bad. The farther you go into afternoon and evening, the better chances of showers there will be. So cool tomorrow. That jacket with light northeasterly winds might not be such a bad idea. Likewise, going out to catch a fish, it doesn't look too bad. Winds northeast, according to the website. Excellent conditions for fishing tomorrow. So again, doesn't look too bad for right now across much of the area. So if you'd like to see a little bit more about that, stay tuned to our forecast for more updates on that. We'll be glad to keep you updated on what's going on. Right about Veterans Day, just past that, and again toward the end of the year, this is our special little segment that we like to bring out. We don't feature this all the way through the year. We want to keep this at a special time of the year for everybody who's on the home front. A lot of folks shoving off for foreign lands to keep an eye on what's going on as their duty stations require as being part of the U.S. military. So we bring out Weather Where the Troops Are in order to help you see a little bit more about what's going on around the world. In this case, we're stopping by the Korean Peninsula, which is pretty mild at this time. It's noon already on Wednesday, so temperatures not bad south of the DMZ. Temperatures in around the area of Gapyeong, hope I'm saying that correctly, 46 degrees with sunshine there. Mostly cloudy in Seoul, 50 degrees. Also at Gwangju, down toward the southwestern part of the country, and around Busan, Kimhae, 54 degrees with sunshine. This is an area of the world where a lot of the cold air that rolls in off of Siberia can be just really chilling, numbing effects. And we're getting into that winter season to where Siberia can let loose with a lot of that cold. Very much on the mild side right now, so looking good there. Stay tuned to News 12 throughout the rest of the upcoming holiday season, and we'll keep you advised at numerous locations. Again, this is totally free public information. None of this is top secret, so we're not getting in trouble with anybody anywhere by posting this information. We just like to bring this to you to let you know a little bit more about, again, if you're on the home front and you're looking at what's going on, maybe this can help bridge the distance a little bit and say this is what it looks like far beyond our area. So something, again, to think about there. Don't forget, it seems kind of paltry, but we are in the second severe weather season peak of the year. The first one, this is for Hamilton County, by the way. This is courtesy of the National Weather Service and Mississippi State University. There's a tornado database that has tons of information by county, by city, by year. This is for all of Hamilton County since records were kept back in 1883. And the big winner is April, where we see the most severe weather around here. Then things drop off into what we like to call the summer doldrums. We don't get that much. Again, one tornado in September, somewhere back in history. And then right in here, we're seeing a little bit higher. It's really the peak of it from March into April. The second highest peak, if you take a look proportionally, is right here between October, November, and down into December. So it pays to be on the ball and watching what's going on, just to make certain that we are paying attention to what is happening. And on that note, it's best to be ready to go before any severe weather hits. So again, get ready to go with News 12 and our weather radio tutoring page. If you'd like to know more about how to program your weather radio so you're ready when the storms arrive next time, whenever that is, please make certain you drop by our website on the weather section and you'll watch a short video to let you know more about what's happening. Some places in the area, not everybody's getting these this time around, and most of them happen in the prime severe weather season, January through roughly about March. So the next one coming up that's on the books, we're covered over by 4 National Weather Service offices. Again, we're covered by Nashville, Morristown, Peachtree City, Atlanta, and Huntsville. And all of those National Weather Service offices are responsible for training for Skywarn. Kind of fell off a bit during and after the pandemic, but it's starting to come back at least a little bit. So if you're in Athens, Tennessee, one of the more in-person meetings, instead of taking them online, will be coming up Thursday, December 7th, 6 p.m. at the McMinn County Courthouse on East Madison Avenue. It is totally free to attend. Your tax dollars, my tax dollars pay for this. But please register for a seat so they know how many people are coming, and so they can plan ahead and make sure that they have a big enough room for them to gather in. Now, for those who are Hamilton County, Chattanooga residents, your meeting will be coming up on Friday, February 9th next year, 2024. That'll be at the CHI Memorial Hospital on DeSales Avenue. Again, if you're from out of town and you want to attend one of these in-person meetings, great, no problem. Just make certain you register for a seat at weather.gov/MRX. That's the 3-letter code for the National Weather Service in Morristown. Totally free, doesn't cost you anything other than your tax dollars, and it's well spent in my opinion. So register for a seat just to be, again, polite and make certain you're on the roster, and your opportunity to become a Skywarn spotter. You become the eyes and ears of the National Weather Service. You don't have to be an amateur radio operator. You don't have to be an ambulance, EMT, paramedic. You don't have to be law enforcement. All you have to be is interested in weather and a willingness to help your fellow community members. The more Skywarn spotters we have, the more people will spot and see what's going on, and the more reports can get called back to the National Weather Service, and the safer we can all be. So your reports could save someone's life, so please consider becoming a Skywarn volunteer. It would really, really, really help out on things like that. So again, please consider that. Make sure that you're safe. Have multiple ways to get warnings. Go to ready.gov/alerts if you'd like to know a little bit more about what's going on there. Again, it's best to have different ways. Don't just depend, if you have tornado sirens in your area, don't just depend on the sirens. Have multiple ways to get information about what is going on across the area. Now, the National Weather Service in Morristown does have a virtual Skywarn training page. If you can't make the in-person meetings, again, go to their website at weather.gov/MRX, and you'll be able to find out more about taking the course online. They do still recommend that you attend an in-person class. And again, those last about 60, 90 minutes, somewhere in there, so you do have the opportunity to learn a little bit more about that and to help your community out. And there's also a class from the National Council on Atmospheric Research. I know I'm saying that wrong, and I apologize, but good opportunity to learn more. It's an online class for Skywarn. I'll get a graphic ready and post that coming up tomorrow so we can see a little bit more about what's going on there. Colorful picture for today, our West Shore Home weather window picture of the day. B. Miller from Harrison, Tennessee, taking a very colorful picture of the foliage around Asheville, North Carolina at Omni Grove Park Inn. That's our West Shore Home weather window picture of the day. If you've got pictures, we'd love to see what you're looking at and to show everybody else, and we post these pictures to our social media pages, so please let us know again what you're looking at out there. We'd love to be able to see a little bit more about what's going on in your area, so please let us know. Again, pictures at WDEF.com or post them to our social media pages out there. Think that should just about do it for tonight. Again, we've covered pretty much all the bases at this time. One more thing, let's get to the supercast and show you what we've got going on here. Long-range forecast, again, by Friday, passing storm system, giving us that best chance of rain Friday night into early Saturday. And then that storm system off the west coast, this thing deepens in the atmosphere, and once it crosses the Rockies, this thing may have a little bit more oomph to it, so that by Saturday early, Saturday, Sunday, we start to see that system back to our west. And then by Monday, Tuesday, and into early on Wednesday, that storm system passes on through with could be, again, some scattered showers around the area. Heaviest activity looks like it's going to be Monday into Tuesday. And, again, that's not quite up to around Thanksgiving. Then everything leaves the area. A few leftover sprinkles on Wednesday, the busiest travel day of the year. And then getting into the big day itself, I think it looks pretty good. Clearing skies and not too bad for the shoppers going out early Friday morning. Personally, I'm just going to sleep in and order stuff online, I think. And then there are signs looking back farther to the west of what looks to be, let me put this into motion real quick so I can move this, another sign of another storm system coming in from off the west coast. So again, Friday after Thanksgiving, could be something moving through here. I don't see too much moisture being picked up by the Gulf of Mexico for right now, but it looks like it's cold enough to bring in some snow to the upper plain states, the Rockies, and the high plains areas. So that could be something else on the far side of Thanksgiving, maybe right around Sunday, the other busiest travel day of the year when everybody's trying to go home. But for the big day itself and Friday after, looks like things are going to be doing pretty good, all things considered. So again, so far not seeing too much of any problems there. Got any suggestions for weather overtime? If you have a friend or loved one who's serving at a particular location overseas with the military, let me know, and I'll try to include that and see if I can get the closest public weather source in that location. We've got numerous ones to choose from, and we'll be featuring different ones from now over the course of the next several days. So tune into News 12 and we'll keep you updated. One more thing I want to mention, if you're watching this on Wednesday morning the 15th instead of Tuesday the 14th, we're trying to feature an environmental link every single day. Everything we can do to help prevent problems with our atmosphere, with our food supply, with our oceans overheating, anything like that, anything due to human-induced climate change. Always great to be able to help out and learn stuff like that. The Chattanooga Library, tomorrow is National Recycle Day, and from 2 until 4, the Chattanooga Library is going to be holding a Trash to Treasure program, introduction to paper making. Really cool to be able to see how we can recycle stuff as per necessary. And again, introducing younger crowds into the importance of recycling and why and how we can make a circular economy and how we can make a better planet instead of wasting everything and throwing stuff into landfills and letting it rot and become poison in the ground. So this is a good opportunity to learn a little bit more. Again, National Recycle Day is taking place. Again, that'll be at the Chattanooga Library. If you'd like to know more about that, again, go to chatlibrary.org. You do have to RSVP. It is free, but again, you do have to reserve a space because space is limited. So again, stay tuned for more of these websites, and we'll bring you more details on that coming up a little bit later. Okay, I think that should do it for tonight. One more. Here's the tropics. Storm system down toward the western Caribbean. 60% chance of development in the next several days, but it doesn't look like much at this time. Could be around Cuba, Jamaica, possibly Hispaniola within the next 7 days, but that does not appear to be a concern. Off the coast of Florida, it's a broad area of low pressure. Those numbers are for that lower storm system. This one showing a 10% chance of development and just really not much of anything else out there that seems to be causing any concern. But this one might become Tropical Storm Vincent, depending on how it goes. So we'll be watching that again with a lot of interest on that. All right, that should do it. I'll have more coming up on News 12 at 11. Chip Chapman will have more on your forecast bright and early Wednesday morning, so stay tuned for more there. As always, get more details available at wdef.com/weather. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. This has been the Wednesday edition of News 12's Weather Overtime. Rick Bircher from Topeka, Kansas, checking in here. What is harder to predict, rain or snow? In my opinion, snowfall, because of just the incredible amounts of different factors that go into what happens with winter weather down toward the ground. If you've never tried this is not just a Mr. Rick, who's, again, a friend of mine from back in Topeka, Kansas. This is, again, to anybody. If you've never tried winter weather forecasting, give it a try sometime. It's a big ego boost to when you get it right, but it's a very good ego burster when you get it wrong. So, again, drier air at one level, warmer air at another level, that can really wreck a forecast. So, in my opinion, winter weather is always a lot harder to predict, especially when it comes to things like snow out there. So thank you very much, Mr. Bircher, for that question. Thanks to all of our new followers on Twitch TV. Glad to have you along on there. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. This has been the Tuesday, November 14th edition of Weather Overtime. Chip has your forecast in the morning, and I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online, and thanks for joining us tonight.